Hello everyone, this is Dr. Saikia, an expert on international affairs. I'm going to discuss with you the current Afghan crisis. This crisis started way back in 2001. On this same year, on 7th of October, when the US and the Allied forces attacked Afghanistan and overthrew the Mullah Omar, led Taliban government, then the crisis began. Why America had overthrown Mullah Omar government? The reason behind was that just 1 month before, right, that is in September 11, America had witnessed the most horrific terror attack in its history. An American government, then led by Republican President George Bush Jr. and his team and allies had had kind of assumed that it is the Taliban government of Omar and the terror group Al Qaeda are responsible for the terror attack at the heart of US. So, the America and its allies grouped together, started Operation Enduring Freedom and attacked Afghanistan to hunt down Al Qaeda chief Osama bin Laden and the Mujahideens of Taliban responsible for this terror attack. But subsequently, what happened? That in the same year, by December, the United Nations Security Council passed its resolution number 1386 as a part of the Bonn Agreement to send the International Security Assistance Force, right, to Afghanistan to restore peace and order. And this security force, that is IASF, wherein America and its allies have also become a part, and that the IASF started its journey in Afghanistan from 2003 and completed its journey in 2014. Afterwards, they left only a short mission to be there to assist the Afghan forces, and active operations came to an end. But the America and its allies, NATO allies, that has continued their operations till date. Now, what has happened is that since then, almost 20 years, this operation is on. America's hunting down of Al Qaeda, operatives and Taliban's and a war against Taliban is on. It's almost 20 years now. But now, after successive diplomatic efforts, right, finally, what has happened is that in this February, right, on February 2020, an agreement has been signed between the American representatives and the Taliban representatives in Doha, the capital of Qatar. This is one of a historic agreement, I must say, in between America and the Taliban, right? As a part of this deal, what is going to happen now? As a part of this deal, first of all, America and the allied forces are to be withdrawn, right, their forces from Afghanistan by mid next year, that is 2021. Second, as a part of this deal, the Taliban has pledged not to allow the territories under it to be used by Al Qaeda and any other global terror groups to, launch attack on America and its allies. Next, the talks between Afghanistan government and the Taliban is going to start, which is already started now, right? And next, what is going to happen is that as a part of this deal, Afghanistan government is going to release more than 5,000 Taliban prisoners, right, by the time Afghan talks begin. Let me tell you one very important thing in this crisis. Once, Mullah Omar government was overthrown, America and allied forces were successful in restoring a democratic government in Afghanistan. And it started first with Hamid Karzai, who first started his government as an intern government, right? And then gradually, and then he became the he continued as the democratically elected president of Afghanistan, right, for more than 10 years up till 2014. But as a president, he continued from 2001 to 2014. It is almost, 1.5 decade. In 2014 again, America and its allies were successful in continuing the democratic, governance with Ashraf Ghani and his, coalition partner Abdullah. Nevertheless, the, power tussle between Abdullah, the chief executive officer of, Afghan government and Ashraf Ghani continues as of today. But now, after signing of this agreement, have we got peace back in Afghanistan? Why people are, afraid in Afghanistan? Why people are still afraid in Afghanistan? Why we see quite often attacks on Hazara communities, right? And many other minorities like Sikhs, and attack on government buildings, right? Embassies, universities. Why is it happening? Has Taliban learned a lesson? Is Taliban ready to come back to is Taliban ready to come back to, the peace zone? Or still it is launching war against government and allied forces, even after signing an agreement in February 2020 this year, right? Many says, and many of this, international experts say that this 2020 Afghan peace deal is again going to be a false dawn. The reason behind, number one, is that Taliban can never be trusted. Number two, its chief mentor, that is Pakistan, can never be trusted again. Number three, Afghanistan government, current government of Ashraf Ghani and Abdullah, right, is very weak, alone to, prevent any terror attack launched by Taliban and many other terror groups operating today in Afghanistan. Number four, once the America and its allied forces they leave Afghanistan, Afghanistan might see what it had seen after the departure of Soviet troops from Afghanistan, right? It might see the same kind of Taliban attack and overpowering of government forces, brutal killings, and massive human rights violations what the world had witnessed in 1996, right? Before the coming of Mullah Omar government to power, right? And the next one is that these days, apart from Taliban, Haqqani network, even Islamic State is very, very powerful and is launching attacks after attacks on government forces and allied forces. Because Islamic State has been dislodged from its, operational heart from Middle East. So it's, looking for better grounds or other grounds, alternative grounds to operate and keep its sympathizers and forces, fighters afloat. That's a danger. Another one very, very important and critical thing is that Afghanistan government, the legitimately elected, popularly elected government of Afghanistan, that is of Ashraf Ghani, was not made a part of the peace deal between Taliban and the American government. Why? This is a big mystery. Because this is a popularly elected government. But then, who's Taliban? Right. It is an outcast. Taliban is a terror group, though it has a major claim in Afghanistan, though it belongs to Afghanistan. But then popularly elected government of Afghanistan should have been involved right from the beginning. So now, the peace deal in Afghanistan looks, bleak. Peace in Afghanistan looks bleak. What it is going to happen, only time will tell. And if you want to know more about these kind of current topics, keep mailing me at my email address, that is Dr. Makhan Saikia, DRMAKHAN @gmail.com. I'll respond to you, and I'll be also, posting lot many videos on current topics which will be made very clear, precise, so any person who wants to study international politics or international relations could understand very well. Thank you. Take care.